All right, this is Mr. Wyrick trying to come to you today holding the camera and filling out your test review here on this first one. A line with a slope of 0, that is a horizontal line. Horizontal, that means it's going to be y equals some number. Every time we have a horizontal line, it's y equals some number. In this case, this is the y value of the point, so that's the y value for the line, y equals -3. On the next one, it's -2 squared minus 5 times -2 plus 7. When it says f of -2 like this, we're putting the -2 in the place of x. So that's 4 plus 10 plus 7. If you do this in the calculator, which I would suggest getting the calculator to help you, put the negative numbers in parentheses. Otherwise, it'll square first and then multiply it by -1. You'll be getting all kinds of weird answers. And my guess is that's going to be one of the options on there. This is 21. When we go to graph this equation, we have to solve it for y. Add 12, add 12. That's a -4x minus 6y is equal to 12. Add 4x to both sides. That's -6y equals 4x plus 12. Divide by -6. And that's y is equal to a -2/3 x minus 2. So we'd start here. It's a negative slope, so it's going to go downhill, and it's going to change 2/3. So if we go up 2, to make it go downhill, we have to go left 3. That's the downhill left to right. And if we go down 2, we have to go right 3. So it'll follow that same pattern. Put a line through there, use a straight edge. That'll make it work. Okay, that's about how that one's going to go. Sorry, my line's crooked. Write an equation of a line in slope intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, slope intercept form. That is parallel. That means it has the same slope to this line. That's a change of 2. That's my rise. That's a change of 3. That's my run. It's going downhill, so it's negative. So my new line is also going to be -2/3 times x. At this point, you can sub in your x and your y, and you could use nsolve to get b, or you can make the little table. And that's going to be, if I put in -6, I get 5 out of it. That'd be -6 times -2/3, because we take our m and we're going to multiply it by the x. And then we're going to add b, whatever that is. In this case, a -2/3 and -6 is 4, so my b is +1. This is +1. Also, you should be able to test this point. On this one, this is 10 is equal to -8/5 minus 7, and there's my x. Just nsolve this one. Make sure you understand how to do it. If not, add 7, multiply by 5 to get rid of the fraction, divide by a -8. On this one, it'll be a fractional answer, so menu 2, enter, is going to give you those fractions from the decimals. On this one, if it's direct variation, that's y equals kx. Y is 25/4, and that's equal to k times x, which is 10. Divide by 10, divide by 10. Your calculator can do this one. It's going to be 25/40, which would be, they're both divisible by 5. That's 5/8. Again, menu 2, enter, is going to convert it from a decimal to a fraction. On this one here, this is my change in x, it's 2. Here's my change in y, it's 8. And -8. So that's y equals -4x. If we take -4 times 2, we get -8. And we should have -2.5. So we have to add 5.5. This would be a good one to use nsolve. This would be a good one to, instead of sitting here and solving and getting the whole thing out, using the multiple choice, checking these answers in each one of those multiple choice equations. So for any one of them, a -4x plus 5.5, for instance, if you put in the x, you should get out the y. You might need to check multiple points, especially if one point like the y-intercept works in all of them. On this one, find the value of x that makes the equation true. Again, using numerical solve is going to be your quickest, most efficient way to get this done. This one comes up a fraction. So remember, menu, 2, enter. I know you can get the answers to these on Coach Wooten's website. I'm just trying to go over how to get there. On the next page, number 9 here, an equation of line in standard form. Here's x, here's y. All of them are x minus 2y. So 8 times 1 is 8. A negative 2 times a negative 3 means it's plus 6. 8 plus 6 is not 48. 8 plus 6 is not negative 19. 8 plus 6 is not 2. And 8 plus 6 does make 14. Make sure you check your signs. The negative times the negative makes this one a positive. You're going to add them together, not multiply them. Okay, parallel to the x-axis. Here's my y-axis, here's my x-axis. If it's parallel, it's going to be a line like this or like this. Okay, that's parallel, going the same way that the x-axis is. That is a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are y equals, this one's negative 3. If it's parallel to the y-axis, that's running up and down. It's a vertical line. That's x equals 6. Perpendicular to the x-axis forms a 90-degree angle with the x-axis. That's a vertical line. X equals 6. Perpendicular to the y-axis forms a 90-degree angle with the y-axis. That's y equals negative 3. Okay, make sure you pick the right letter. If you get the right letter for horizontal and vertical line, you're halfway there. On this one, which equation shows the same rate of change? That's same slope. This is a change of minus 5. This is a change of minus 8. A negative 5 over a negative 8 is 5/8. The one of these that has 5/8 with x is B. Nothing else you have to check. We go to graph this one again. We're solving for y. We add 4x to both sides. That's negative 16. Y is equal to 4x plus 32. Divide everything by negative 16. It's going to change all my signs. That's y is equal to 1/4 negative x minus 2. Again, we start at this 2 here. We go down 1. And since I know it's negative, it has to go downhill. I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can keep that pattern going. If I go up, again, it's a negative slope. It has to go downhill. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we are. Okay, so it goes about like that. Rate of change on this one, there's a lot of extra words, but rate of change means slope. From 3 to negative 11, we have to subtract 3 to get down to 0 and 11 more to get down there. So that's minus 14. This one, from a negative 4 to a positive 4, is 8. So a negative 14 over 8, we can reduce that to a negative 7 over 4. Okay, again, the calculator can reduce those. It's very helpful. Slope of the line, x1, y1, x2, y2. Follow your formula, negative 3 minus 9 over 14 minus r is equal to negative 3 over 5. Once you have that formula there, I would solve that thing. I would do it in a heartbeat. That's a lot to remember of carry this out, cross multiply when you're done, distribute, and then finish up solving. It takes a lot of time, and you want your time spent well on this test. Write the equation line slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. I like to set up a table with these. 12, negative 3, negative 8, 12. Make sure you set it up properly. From 12 down to a negative 8, we're subtracting 20. From a negative 3 up to 12, we're going up 15. So that's 15 over 20, and it's negative. That's a negative 3/4 when you reduce it. So y is equal to negative 3/4 of x. In this case, my x is 12. Negative 3/4 of 12 is going to equal negative 3 once I add the b value in there. 12 times 3 is 36, divided by 4 is 9. So that's negative 3 equals negative 9 plus b. My b is going to be a 6. Positive. If I add 6, I get that. So plus 6, there's my answer there. Graph y equals negative 7. I'm going to count down 7, or start here. I know it's 10, 9, 8, 7. There it is. All of these would be where y is equal to negative 7. It's a horizontal line. Remember that y is your horizontal line. X is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we are. This is x is equal to 4. Number 17. The amount of, this one struck me as funny. The amount of dished washes, so it should be dishes washed, is directly proportional to the number of loads. We can do 376 in 8 loads. So that's 8 times k equals 376. Divide by 8, it's going to be 47 per load. So if we do 47 times 13 loads, that's 470 for the tens column. 7 times 3 is 1, and 20. 4 times 3 is 12, 13, 14. So 141 there. That'd be 11 here, so 611 dishes. If you think logically about that one, you should end up in the right spot. Write the equation line perpendicular. I put my slope down, flip it, and reverse it. Y is equal to 5/4 x plus b. I'm going to set up my table here. I put it into negative 12. I get out of 7. Negative 12 times 5/4 is going to be 60 divided by 4 is 15. So that's a negative 15. In order to get that to 7, I've got to add 15 and then add 7 more. So I'm going to add 22. So that's y equals 5/4 x plus 22. On this one, standard form again. The negative 10 is my x. The 4 is my y. Negative 10 times 7 is a negative 70. 4 times 10 is 40. So I'm taking a negative 70 and I'm adding 40. In this case, the only one that equals is negative 30. And on this one, my slope is up 2 and over 1. Change of 2 over change in 1. It's positive. So it's a positive 2 that I'm looking for on the slope. My y-intercept is right here. And that's 2x plus 1. You can see number 1's already there. Number 2 is wrong. It has a different slope. It has the reciprocal slope, not the opposite reciprocal to where it would be perpendicular, but just the opposite. So we go to, just the reciprocal, not the opposite. We go to finish this one. That's negative 4y equals, when we subtract 8x minus 8x minus 4. Divide everything by negative 4. And we get y is equal to 2x plus 1. Also the right answer. And then on the last one, same kind of thing. Subtract 14x, subtract 14x. That's negative 7y is equal to negative 14x minus 7. Divide by negative 7. And wouldn't you know it, it becomes y is equal to negative divided by negative is positive. That's 2x. And negative 7, that's plus 1. Also a correct answer. Don't forget, solve these out, or like take maybe this point here, which would be 1, 3, and you can test it in each one of these equations. 1, 3 wouldn't work in this one. Half of 1 is a half, plus 1 is 1.5, not 3. But on this one, 1, 3 would be 8 minus 12. That would equal a negative 4. 14 minus 21 would be a negative 7. So the point does work in there. If you have any other questions, track me down, track down Coach Wooten, track down Mr. McLaughlin in the morning. Get those answers that you need, and good luck on the test.